Welcome to Moody's Mixer, winning with prostate cancer, no fear necessary. I'm sitting here, we just had lunch. I'm sitting here with two-time Olympic silver medalist in the 110-meter high hurdles, Terrence Trammell. Also, three-time silver medalist in the World Championships. Also, indoor world champion. This gentleman has been running since high school. I think he held the high school record in the hurdles. So this is a guy who's been top of his craft since he's been in high school. Understanding what it takes to reach your goals and to get things accomplished. Here's a man here you can really take some stock into listening. So Terrence, I want to welcome you to Moody's Mixer, winning with prostate cancer, no fear necessary. You and I talked before. We had a conversation back 2 years ago when I first got diagnosed with prostate cancer. You were one of my first guests. You know, Terrence and I have been knowing each other for a long time. How we met was 2003, get ready for the 2004 Olympics. That's when I met the great Terrence Trammell. I'm sorry, Hall of Fame Terrence Trammell. Matter of fact, I want to say congratulations. Now, I see this.
Thank you.
I see this big nugget on here. So what's this nugget I see on your finger?
This 21 and 22, we went back-to-back state titles.
Wow, well, congratulations on that. That
Thank
is
you.
a tough feat. This academy is not a huge school, or it's not known for being athletic. So what do you think turned that around, that they were able now to become state
So I think the program had a great distance and middle distance. Sprinters didn't really have a lot of talent, I guess you would say, but there were kids that were willing to be better. And I think the biggest thing that I found was just being able to give them a spark of confidence and showing that they can do certain things. And they bought into certain little things that I would have them do as I tested them throughout the season, and they built the confidence throughout the course of the time, and so they just got better and better. First had to work on the mindset and understand that we're going to be disciplined, we're going to be focused, and we're going to be consistent. Once they adapted that philosophy, then they had a lot of success.
So talk to me a little bit about the mindset, because one of the things I talk about a lot is that so much of life is mental. And on this journey, I've had to transform my mind, which helped transform my spirit and my body. Some of the things that you were able to bring to kind of help them get over the hump, or the old ways they used to do it. Can you kind of take me through what that was like to get them through that, as you say, that mental mindset?
When I first got to Pace Academy, the sprint program really was just a bunch of kids that didn't make it in other sports. We're like, okay, well, just go for track. You know, that seemed like that'll be fun, you know. And as you said earlier, being a Hall of Famer and a three-time Olympian, I see track a lot differently than just go out there and it'll be fun. The first thing I did when we met the parents, a student meeting, basically with the track team. And the thing that I said was, you know, it's a pleasure for me to be here, but one of the things that I would like for us to do is eventually be one of the top programs in the state, and then become one of the top programs in the country.
Wow.
So I set expectation. And if you had seen the way those kids were looking around at each other when we started, you know, when I said that,
right,
I mean, they were just like, you know. And so two things happened. One, they had to change their belief, and two, they knew they had to take track seriously. And so coming in early, we lost about a third of the team after a couple of those workouts, but the ones that stayed, they started believing in themselves, and they started achieving things off the track that they didn't think they could achieve. And they all saw personal best on the track. My biggest thing was them to picture themselves at a certain level of success and embracing it. So like you said earlier, everything starts in the mind. And what I've learned as of late, our life is just a projection of our mind. It starts in the mind. The way our life is formed comes from how we see it based on what's in our mind. Not necessarily iterating those things to the kids. I use that as a mode for them to focus, see themselves in a specific role and understand that they can do those things. And once they start embracing it, then they really started giving some effort. Talent plays a role. I had to talk them through kind of breaking through the soil.
Right.
You know, to understand it's going to take a little time.
Right.
If you just stick with it and buy in, you'll have a great deal of success.
Right.
And every single year, we had more and more kids qualify for the state meet. When I first got there, I think we had like the mini bus taking the kids down.
Right. The short bus.
Yeah.
Short bus.
And these last 2 years, we had charter buses. You know, that's how many kids qualified.
Wow.
So the boys won back-to-back years. The girls got runner-up back-to-back years. And the girls only runner-up because the team that won just had so many numbers.
Correct.
Got the kids to believe in themselves. And I always fed them something. It's tough love, but then I nurtured them at the same time.
Right.
You know? And so tough love to hold themselves accountable, but nurturing to hold themselves on a pedestal enough
to a higher standard.
Right. So now they can understand why I'm crazy.
Right.
They understand the method to the madness.
Right.
And they all were really appreciative.
You had to really be very vocal and push and say, no, this is how it's going to be, with no exception, a culture change for that program. I can feel, you go, as you say, you can't play anything else because you're not athletic. You have to be athletic in track, but the athletic is more mental than it is physical.
A lot of kids that they didn't know kind of what to expect, and it was a shock for them. And a lot of the kids left. A lot of the kids, it was just too much. You know, it overwhelmed them. And I think the biggest thing that I noticed was the kids that stayed were the kids that really wanted to get better. They were the ones that, so coach, I'm trying and it's really hard, but I'm gonna stick with it. The one thing that I did see is that the kids that stayed, whether they were talented or not, they gave their all. And that's all I would ask. I had to get to a point where I told them, look, winning and losing to me doesn't matter. I just want you to give me the effort. If it doesn't work out, let me take the blame for why it didn't work out if you gave me your effort. I will challenge myself to be a better coach, to put you in a position to be successful. And the one thing that I would mention during my time is your parents are rich. You're not. Are you going to grow up your whole life looking for mommy and daddy to take care of all your needs? How will you be a functioning adult? If you're a male, how will you have a wife, children to depend on you? At some point, you have to make your own mark in this world. You wasn't brought here to follow mommy and daddy's shadow.
Dependent on others. What are you willing to do for yourself? You know, I know when I started this journey, I had to make a decision. Was I going to take control of it? Frustrating,